You know those days in the markets where everything is just clicking, everything is just perfect, it's so easy, then you come up on another type of day and that other day is just so difficult. Why was it so easy the other day and why is it so difficult for today? How do I quantify the feeling of the market? I'm going to show you guys some tips, some tools that we use here with ALGOBOX, how to quantify that so that you can know when those candy day opportunities might be in play. Let's go. So today our focus is going to be on what we call the speedometer, the ALGOBOX speedometer. Down here in the bottom right hand corner of your charts on the smallest time frame, you will see this in your default template. Now again, you can put this other locations and there's other ways to use this, but I'm going to show you guys the primary way to use this to get the quantitative analysis and the information so that you can decide when a candy opportunity might be there in the markets at any given moment, any given session, not just for the entire day. A lot of times we label the candy days as entire days. Oftentimes those candy days are not the entire day. The entire day was not necessarily candy for every trade that entire day. We call them candy days. So let's get a little bit more specific here today on when, on the where, maybe a particular session, maybe a particular time of the day. There was a window in that day when everything was just absolutely clicking. How can we use a system and have a tool that tells ourselves when that is occurring? Well, that is where our speedometer is going to come into play. So what we have done is, let me pull up a blank screen here for us and let me do some analysis here for us real quick. So let's talk about some terminology. ALGOBOX speedometer. So that is the indicator down there at the bottom right of your screen. We already talked about that. Let's do BPM. When we talk about BPM, this is bars per minute. Okay, that is our speed. So if we're talking about miles per hour, here we're going to be talking about bars per minute. This is the number of bars printed during a 1 minute time period. Although we use an average over 4 minutes, we talk about why we do that. We are also adjusting every 4 minutes on the fly with our optimization process. So it has to do with some of that. And we found it's the best. It's just how we have it proprietarily set for now. So the question, what is the ideal speed of the market for easy opportunities? Now remember, it's not just any opportunity. We're not just going, well, when our opportunities, we're talking about when are the easier opportunities. And of course, there are no guarantees. It's not going to be like, oh, well, Vinny said when the BPM is 45, then you're going to get an easy opportunity, which means he's guaranteeing you money. There are no guarantees ever. You're talking about quantitatively trying to analyze the markets and how you're going to have some of the best opportunities for you if you are going to be looking at your chart. So we're here to try to help you to do that. All right, so let's go over here into the answer. So the answer to that is let's analyze and find those candy days, because we can determine like, well, we have had candy days in the past. So let's go study the candy days in the past. So that is what we've done. We've taken those candy days and we said, okay, let's analyze the speed of those particular days. So this is where we came up with the information that we're about to show you on our system. You know, again, this applies to our system, our methodologies. This is not going to be generic and you can't apply this to all other trading systems that are out there. This is specific to ALGOBOX. So keep that in mind if you are not part of the ALGOBOX crew and you're watching this later. Although you can apply this analysis to your own type of trading if you had a tool set like the speedometer. So how do we apply it? Number one, we can wait till we have the perfect ideal. Now let me back up. Let's start with some generic information. So what we have found is this is our magic number. Okay, it is 45. Okay, if you want to write that down, there it is. I like to break things down and keep things simple. I'm not a mystery guy like ICT and tries to hide. Oh, hey, I'm so mysterious and you'll never know the answers to things. And I am the enigma. Oh, I have the enigma I've given to my children and my children's children, but you will never have it. All that BS. So 45 BPM. This is a great speed. This is like you got that vehicle, you're driving down the highway at 45 miles per hour. I kind of liken it to that, where it's not too fast, it's not too slow. You could drive a convertible top down. The wind is not going to be too annoying as you're driving down the freeway. This is the perfect speed. Okay, so 45 or greater, but you also want to be a little bit, in my opinion, what I have found on those candy days is we also want to be, let me come back to red here, less than 75. Between 45 and 70 BPM or driving down the freeway, okay, miles per hour, 45 to 75. Hopefully these are easy numbers for you to remember. 45 BPM, 75 BPM. If you find this on your speedometer on any instrument, because people are like, well, what instrument doesn't matter? It does not matter. That's the beautiful thing about why this is so awesome. Using quantitative analysis, we can actually choose which instrument that we want to trade based on, well, find which instrument is moving at this speed. Does everybody understand that? You understand that? This is the key. Put a comment down below if you understand that the speed of the instrument is what matters. It is not the instrument, it is itself. Oftentimes now, which instrument is going to hit 45 most often? Okay, now that's a different question, right? If you're trying to choose a favorite, you might find NASDAQ, for instance, is going to be hitting in this zone way more often because, you know, it just moves quicker to begin with. ES is hardly ever going to reach this zone. However, are there days that the ES gets to this speed on the low time frame for entries? Yes, it does. So this is the idea. Now, let's come back to some of the ways that we do this. So if we know that we are trying to get that 45, so we can wait 40-45. Okay, that's one option. We can adjust. How can we adjust? Well, let's move our chart maybe to a different algo bar. So let's let me show an example of adjusting. Okay, wait's pretty easy, right? Waiting around until the number down here. Okay, see that? So right now we're at 28.5, and today's a perfect day to use this as an example. Why I came out here today. Some of the members in our crew are actually asking, like, man, what's going on? Today's so slow. Remember, this is earnings week. Huge earnings this week. So what do I tell you on earnings? Go watch the earnings video. And end of day is really where the activity is going to go. Oftentimes in the middle of the day, a lot of the price is going to be setting inside the golden ropes, the area of safety, so that money managers are like, well, they're not taking any risks. Particularly, let's wait to see what the earnings come out, and then we'll make adjustments. So nobody's really putting their neck out there. So you might have this slow lull until approaching the after hours when people are like, okay, well, I'm going to maybe start to take some movement. You might see that in the final half hour, particularly on those earnings days. That's where I like to really strike there. But right now we are at 28.5. So is this good? No. Everybody get that? I love that we have this perfect example right now in the middle of the day. 28.5. This is slow. You can feel it. Okay, this is that feeling. Like if I were to open this up, this is in queue on the lowest time frame that I'm using. Mind you, I'm on the 3s, but this is really slow. Now, what do I mean by adjust? So let's adjust this. This is on the 3s. Let's see what happens. Mind you, remember the 28.5. Now let's adjust this and let's change this to a new data series. Let's go down to one lower. Let's go ALGOBAR 2s. Let's see what we're at here. Okay, well now we're at 38. Well, that's closer. Right? Are we at 45 to 75? No. So even this, still going to be a little bit slower than what we absolutely, the ideal, but that's close. So I may be more comfortable here. And again, this is my feelings. These are what I have found for myself, and I've done the analysis on the candy days. We've studied for myself, my best days. That's my speed. Maybe you find a different speed for yourself. That's the great thing about this tool. You can analyze and get your own speed if you wish. Okay. Find out, like, you know what? I really like trading at 35 BPM, Vinny. Okay, cool. Like this, maybe this is perfect for you. Let's go down one more, down to the ALGOBAR 1s, which is almost a nightmare in general on NASDAQ in general. But this is why I always tell people you cannot generalize things. People generalize way too often. Now, all of a sudden, now this is running at 124. That's too fast. You see? So right now is not an ideal time, in my opinion, to be trading much at all. If I'm going to be trading at this speed, I've got to really be, trying to get Johnny on the stick there. Now, maybe double cross, double moves might be the plays during this type of window. That's this is an example here. Let's go up here to another one on YM. Let's look at the YM. All right, so we've come up here on my top screen and I'm looking at the YM. Now, you can see from the graph, you see how we are rising right now. So maybe speed is increasing here. This might be an opportunity as we see this to come up to go, hey, maybe we're going to get some speed now. I'm on the 2s here on YM. Currently, the speed is 19 current, but look at the average. The average over the last 4 minutes is 5. This is so slow. These are the types of areas that are easy, in my opinion, to avoid using this tool. Now, again, this is just one way to use the tools. So let's come over here and look at the speed. So this is on the 2s. Let's see if we adjust. Same thing. I'm going to go down to ALGOBAR 1s. Right? 53. Okay, now we're talking over the last 4 minutes, though, only at 28. So what I may want to do is wait and see if this continues to move up on the ones because of the speed right now, you see how this is adjusting. Everybody understand the adjustment method? If you would like to adjust for the speeds, you can know what chart is in play right now for candy opportunities based on quantitative analysis. Quantifiably, what is that speed? I'm looking for the 45 to 75. Right now, this might be good speed right here on the YM, on the ones, like this little headshot right here. I'm gonna go ahead and toe in the water here. Take a shot at this. Let's see what happens here. I'm going against the MACV here. I see I've got a down 2 finger here. Let's see if we can play with this shot right here. We are breaking into a diamond. I'm gonna add to my position. Here's king timing. Here's a blue bar, add to position. Let's see if we can get it to pop up in there. Popped up a little bit, and we're at our target. And we'll go ahead and close it and take some off right there. Very nice little opportunity. Again, because of the speed, right? We got the speed coming in there. Felt pretty good. Nice speed down and into this zone there. Had a nice HMD and then a pop up towards the cipher there. Not too bad sitting here making a little money here while we are while we're doing some training. Not too bad. Okay, hard to pass up some opportunities like that. Yeah, easy. So back to our speed. Let's look at our next option here on our list. Okay, so coming back down here into our list. So we've talked about being able to wait, to adjust. We've done adjusting. How about sitting out? Okay, this is a pretty easy one, boring, but hey, maybe just sit out. Like, you don't have to come and trade. The speed's not there. You can come over here, glance at your charts, be like, nope, not there. We will have an alert set in one of our most, well, the next release will come out. We'll have alert that you can set to yourself. You'll be able to send it to your phone or email. We can alert into the Discord room. There's several ways that are come out here using our new speedometer options there with our, again, this is relatively new to the most recent version. Make sure you are, as of today, on 9.145. Next one, scalp. Well, it's kind of what I just did just now. Okay, the speed isn't ideal. So maybe I'm just going to be looking for some scalp plays here. Maybe some little tinies. Use your tiny ATM. Remember, we have small, we have big, we have bigger, and we also have tiny. Some people are mislabeling that. I wish you guys would use the same terminologies. Please use the same terminologies that I am. Do not cause confusion in our room. I'm specific in my terms. You need to be specific in your terms as well. So when I say the ATM names, use tiny. Do not say, oh, smaller. Don't say that stuff. Use the exact terminology that we have, and it relates to the actual tool itself. Be specific, be detail oriented. Stop being lazy in your speech. Stop being a lazy trader. Stop being a lazy business person. All right. And finally, sizing. I actually did that in this example just now. Did I get big on that play? No. So another thing is you can downsize yourself along with your scalping, and you know that the speed is not necessarily in your favor. So that is the meat of everything I want to tell you guys about with the speedometer. If you have questions, put them down in the comments down below, but do not overlook how powerful this is. Some of the biggest things, ask any trader who's been around the block, timer 30, been around. The best days are the days when the markets are giving it to you, and the best way to not lose money is to know what days to sit out or to know when to sit on hands. That is actually one of the most difficult things for most traders, is to know when to sit on hands. This is a quantitative way that we have created through ALGOBOX so that you can know when you can sit and when you can play. Hopefully you guys get it. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Cannot wait to see your results. I'll catch you guys in the next one.